What's up? I'm Zeal Troublemaker, and I don't know how to ride segways. In this video, I'll be discussing what it means to be a furry, who is a furry, and ways to get involved in the fandom. Let's fly right into it. Article 1. What is a furry? Well, I think the first thing that we need to discuss is anthropomorphism. The character you see before you, me, Zeal, hi, how are ya, is an anthropomorphized dragon. Oxford Languages defines anthropomorphism as the attribution of human characteristics or behavior to a god, animal, or object. All this means is that you've given an animal or thing human characteristics. In the furry fandom, this often means giving an animal the ability to walk on two legs, as well as the capability for human intelligence and speech. Some furry characters wear clothes, have jobs, and even eat regular human food. Others are simply capable of human thought and speech, like everyone in The Lion King. Furry characters that don't do human things but still have human intelligence and talk are often called feral characters. So, back to the question at hand. What is a furry? A furry is just a person who likes anthropomorphic animals, like the ones that we just talked about. The furry fandom are the people who enjoy art of these kinds of characters. Some show their enjoyment by making art of their own anthro characters, commissioning art from other artists, or even wearing costumes of these characters. Such costumes are called fursuits, and believe it or not, only 10% of the fandom has one. But of that 10%, some furries have multiple fursuits. I myself hope to have a few someday, but they're kind of expensive. Some fursuits cost more than a used car. This is because fursuits take a lot of time, effort, and of course, fur to make. Fursuits can take anywhere from a few months to a couple of years to complete, depending on your maker and the complexity of the character. But we can get into specifics about that in another video. For now, let's move on. Article 2. How do I know if I'm a furry? I think the best way to answer this question is with this little quiz I made for you. This way, you can analyze yourself instead of letting me tell you who you are. The furry fandom and the decision to be a part of it can be very personal. So, I'd rather not just tell you. I'd rather let you decide for yourself. Anyways, on to the quiz. Question 1. Do you like furry media? This can be anything from Robin Hood to Zootopia to Tuca and Birdie. All of these movies and shows feature mainly furry cast members, if not exclusively. If you find a lot of your favorite shows and movies have animal characters, perhaps this is a community that you'd like to interact with. Question 2. What kinds of characters tend to be your favorites? Are they often animal characters or people with animal characteristics and shape-shifting abilities? Question 3. Do you have friends who are furries? If so, have you ever been really curious but afraid to ask about it? Question 4. Do you want to be a part of a community with these interests? Like I mentioned before, the decision to be in this fandom is very personal. Not everyone likes being a part of these big subcultures, and that's okay. If you answered yes to at least 2 of those questions, chances are you could call yourself a furry. Article 3. Okay, I might be a furry. How can I get involved? If you've gotten this far into the video, you might want to really sink your teeth into this fandom. Here are a few ways that you can get involved. Make a character. If you could turn into any animal, what would it be? A furry character that represents you or an aspect of your personality or even what you wish you could be like is called a fursona. When choosing your fursona, don't be afraid to do something wild and wacky like a spider-cat hybrid or an axolotl. When you make your fursona, you're supposed to really like it and connect with it. So make sure that you choose something that you really like, and don't be afraid to change your mind later. If you're not artistically inclined but would like to have some kind of representation of this character, try looking for a furry artist to commission. A furry artist, like myself, might be able to help you design your new character. But be prepared to pay someone for this art, and remember to be kind and tip your artists. We work really hard. What should you do with that art? Well, it's up to you. You could make it your profile picture, or your background picture, or just keep it to yourself and know that this character represents some part of you. It's okay if you want to keep it private. Not everybody wants to show the world that they're furry, and that's okay. Another thing you can do to interact with the furry fandom is go to conventions. There are large gatherings around the world where people get together and essentially have a big, fluffy, furry party. Going to furry conventions can be a really great way to make new friends. Remember to look up furry etiquette. If I make a furry etiquette video in the future, it'll probably be in the card above or the description below. But if you're watching this right around the time it comes out, don't be afraid to check out other furry YouTubers. Speaking of which, another thing you can do is try looking up other furry YouTubers and see what you like best. For new furs, I recommend Beta Edidilota and Picariru, as they both offer a lot of cute and fun educational content. They also have fursuits, which I don't have yet. Maybe that's enticing to you. I also really strongly recommend checking out Ash Coyote's furry documentary, The Fandom, which is a beautiful piece that goes into the history of the furry fandom and how it got to where it is today. Ash's documentary made me understand why people call themselves proud furries, which is something that I used to find really awkward. So please, I can't recommend it enough. Please go check that documentary out, especially if this video was interesting to you in any kind of way. I will try to remember to link all of those down below. Anyways, I think that's all that I have for you today, so thank you all so much for checking out this video, and I just bumped my mic, and I'm so sorry. I'm gonna leave that in because it's probably at least a little bit funny to somebody out there. Anyways, if you got this far into the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Scratch you later.